Welcome everybody to the new season of Age of Empires 4. We do have a new biome around us. I don't know if this is new. It was there the whole time, but we never saw it. I don't remember the snow looked as good as this. And I think this is a new one. And it just looked gorgeous. Let's get into the game soon. Playing as the Japanese in the color green, it is our friend, which I cannot really rate his name because I think this looks like traditional Chinese. Looks like that to me. Because there are many words that I can read and these ones I cannot. And there is a big difference between traditional and simplified. But anyway, we will just call it green. And in the color red, playing as the House of Lancaster, which recently got a nerf, or rather say a rework. It is Kurovsky. And I'm particularly interested to see how House of Lancaster is played now. Because we went from a spam of House of Manors. You know? Pretty much like that. Spam manors everywhere. And this must be a new... This is a new biome. Don't... Let's just look at this. Oh my god, this is beautiful. This is just beautiful, man. Anyway. We went from a span of manors to a nerf, which led us into spam of Abbey of Kings into very heavy feudal with 3 manors. And now there is a rework for the manors, which they don't anymore generate resources just like that. Rather, they just buff the villagers around them. I believe so, that's the case. Like, acts as a drop of buildings for all resource types. Yep. Generally, okay, so it does generate passive resource, but it don't generate as much, which is great. And it's kind of like a buff, kind of like a mini Archon Chapel you can have for all your villagers. That's what I get from here. Generates an additional 4 food and 2 wood for each nearby villager. There you go. So it is less passive. It's not completely active. It's a little bit passive. Just like some of you may like it like that. Anyway, Doc already there. So we're gonna see a delayed Asia for the Japanese in exchange for a few fishes here. This is a map that you don't necessarily need to go for a dock at the beginning. But if you don't, probably you may be thinking about going for some spearmen. And that may be a missed opportunity for Kurovsky. It's definitely one of those moments where you really need to stop the player from going into water, man. This water is beautiful. But anyway, you really need to do so. And I remember Vortex said the other day, like in this type of situations, you either open with water in this map or you need to open with spearmen. Like, you cannot just leave it alone. Otherwise, you're just leaving so many free resources for your opponent that he's gonna have 1, 2, 3 deep fishing, plus a lot of shoreline fish. So it's definitely not something you want to have. But Kurovsky thinks otherwise, and he's gonna go for the Lancaster Castle next to the stone and the gold. Beautiful spawn. And we're gonna see a manor span, and we're gonna see if it's actually, you know, as good as it seems, as good as it was before. But the snow on those trees. Oh my god, the devs were cooking this. The last I think it was how many months? 5 months? 4 months? I don't really remember. It was a long time since we saw an update in Age of Empires 4. Now we know why. These biomes are just beautiful, beautifully done. And by the way, you also get access to the, what's the name of this? Like the previous events biomes, like there was an enchanted, how do you say that word in English? Like magical forest, very nice with purple color palette and with a lot of lights and magic and everything, and you can get access to it now. I don't know if it's gonna be in the rank pool. I wouldn't mind. Like, the more biomes we have in the rank pool, the better. And I feel like, especially in tournaments, this is to unify, like, to make the tournaments more, it's pretty much safer for everyone, like, the most competitive. But they always use European template. It's the most neutral one. And this is just so sad. Guys, if I ever organize a tournament, even a show match, what I will do, it's pretty much, I'm gonna put in the rules. You need to use these biomes. Like the first match is in this biome, the second match is gonna be in this one, and the third one is gonna be in this one. And because I'm organizing it, I'm putting the money, so, you know, it's kind of like my house, my rules. It sounds like a little bit like a douchebag, but I think it's great. I mean, I think it's great that people know that, oh, I didn't know Age of Empires actually looks different. Actually looks different than just greens with trees and that's it. You actually have snow, you have like the magical forest, you have like a lot of different biomes, like the tropical one we have, the black deserts. I've seen some previews of that. It looks just simply beautiful. So for me, to me, that's a crime. Let me know in the comments what you think. By the way, if you are new to the channel, you wanna see more Age of Empires 4 content, don't forget to subscribe. Try to put daily content from now on. I've been pretty busy. I'm not gonna get into that in this video, probably in the next one. But there's a lot I want to share with you. A lot has happened in the last 3-4 months of my life. Very intense. Let's get back into the game. Japanese already there. Probably thinking about a fast castle. Definitely thinking about a fast castle with 5 villagers here. It has a lot of wood, so probably I'm gonna make some units to defend. Let's see if he already scouted the opponent. Just coming, just to check how many manors there's gonna be. So the first manor is gonna be built just next to the lumber camp, of course. It's gonna be buffing all these villagers, and there's some villagers with food here. So it's gonna be buffing both. A very nice wall from our green player. Already has this pretty much protected by the woods. So I think the water, it's safe to say that it's gonna be pretty much uncontested at this point. 2 TCs already there. It's gonna be like a, you know, you go for water, go for a second town center. That's how we're gonna balance. And let's see if it's gonna work. Let's see if it's gonna work. So manors no longer generate more resources than before. They just generate a little bit. So let's see. Let's go jump back into income per minute just to see how good they are compared to before. So we have a very passive game so far. And Green definitely trying to go castle. A little bit of a macro here. And probably because he just wants to make some fishing boats. He's making a military ship just because he doesn't want to make any units. And eventually this scout is gonna take down the dock. If you don't make any units, I think it's long enough to take down this dock. So forced to build an archer ship. Doesn't really need it. Probably will need it in the future. We will see. We will see. And I'm so hyped for this new season. Oh my god, this is Stonewall's Kurovsky. Kurovsky, what are you doing, man? So for those of you who don't know, Stonewalls are banned in tournaments if you use them in the Feudal Age. You cannot use them in the Feudal Age. Reasons for that, there are many. And this is a long discussion, not really discussed, but it's like a very old discussion that, you know, you cannot just build Stonewalls in the Feudal Age because if they are too OP, they can just build Stonewalls near your base, put like archers on top, whatever. It's just a necessary annoyance, and I don't know. On the other side, like there are plenty of, you know, plenty of arguments that, you know, Stonewalls are really not that great for their value. You can just build a ram and that's it. They're not really worth it, so why ban them? I'm with the idea that if it's ranked, you're allowed to do whatever you want. Like, these tournament rules are for their tournaments. If you organize another tournament where you actually allow Stonewalls or some other crazy rules, then I think that's totally fine as well. I don't really get it, but to be fair, I'm sure they use a lot of Stonewalls before, and they think, no, we're not gonna go for Stonewalls again. Probably makes the games longer unnecessarily. That could be the way. Anyway, King's College about to be built, and we got stable for Kurovsky. Probably building a monastery soon. to gather those relics, but Temple of Equality coming soon. I was expecting to see the floating gate, because talking about visual upgrades, the floating gate has got a visual upgrade. That's right. No longer has the placeholder water. It does have actual water, and I haven't seen it. I'm waiting for a game with the Japanese that actually builds that. I was hoping a green player actually builds the floating gate, but it's gonna be Temple of Equality, unfortunately. It's gonna be the meme landmark. King's College. We're gonna color of S's. Your knights and demi-lancers adorn the armor. Whatever. Getting +5 bonus damage against enemy heavy knights, which is pretty good against monk samurais, I should say. +5 against these guys. Not gonna lie, it feels juicy. Now, green is gonna get a big surprise. It's gonna be like, what the fuck? Look at this, he even built a gate. What a chat. Already there. Gonna be denying the relic. The bad thing about this is like, these guys do have... Oh my god. They do have the deflect armor, so they're not gonna be as effective as they should be. That's a bad thing, and looks like this monk is gonna get away with that. Probably not. Knight decides to not help his friend. Amazing chivalry there. And walls coming up for green. Compensated the lack of sportsmanship that Kurovsky has on the latter games. Alright, so first relic is gonna go for green. And Kurovsky is just gonna go pure knight so far. And green says, you know what? I also think that's a good idea. I will go just full knight. The problem is, sometimes you feel, okay, at some point I need to make archers, otherwise, like my knight's gonna, you know, they're just gonna be countered by spears eventually. But if you never make them, and your opponent makes archers, now they are with archer and knight against pure knight. So you really need to confirm that. You really need to make sure, like, you know what, I need to make sure my opponent is making spears, otherwise there is no reason for me to make archers. I'm gonna be losing all the fights. Pretty much a safe option will be to go for, what's this called, some crossbows on this side. So, you know, crossbows also do very, very good against knights. Foot per minute looking really nice for our green player. And also, looks like the manors are not as crazy as before. We don't have as much food currency income compared to before. And by the way, now this one, this Lancaster castle doesn't really have an influence to influence those manors. They are independent of the influence of the Lancaster castle. Now they just have arrow slits and some extra health on them. That's all it does. That's all it does. Now keep in mind, Kurovsky has been on second TC, but water looking really good. I think that's enough fishing boats for our Japanese player. You can think of it as like a secondary, like 2 extra TCs right here. That's why we see the similar villager count. But at some point you will need to stop because there's not enough deep water fish, and a lot of fishing boats will be idle, so that's really not ideal. So Kurovsky is gonna be the one who goes for spearman first. So green is just gonna switch to, switch to archers as soon as he sees those 4 barracks on the way. That's gonna take quite some time to make 4 barracks with 1 villager. Kind of reminds me of me at work, when everyone would, well, just asking me when I'm gonna finish. It's like, when it's done, and you know, pretty much like that. And oh my god, green, you're really wild. You're actually going Castle of the Crow very, very, very fast. You're having many units around you. It's very risky. I mean, technically, Kurovsky also don't have a lot of units to punish this. You can definitely go, But do you have the economy to sustain that? That's the question. All these upgrades are really expensive, and looks like Mount Samurai a lot of them gonna be going down here. Looks like Green is just gonna go for the mass Mount Samurai into mass Buddhist monks. I think that's gonna be the play here. We have seen it before. It sounds like a meme, but it's actually pretty good. Actually, pretty damn good. Okay, Green, actually, you know what? For your lack of sportsmanship, I'm actually building a stone wall here next to your base. Not the personal kit. To be fair, I don't think that's a big deal, but some people take it very seriously. Anyway, Castle of the Crow already here, and it's gonna be securing this goal for now. Not only that, small eco boost. Only gonna... where's the donkey coming from? It's a donkey, right? Should be coming from somewhere here. I thought it came from the market, but apparently comes out of nowhere here. Yeah, probably. Well, it's just gonna be mass Mount Samurai and Buddhist monks. That's all we're gonna see here. Meanwhile, Kurovsky just massing spearmen, and this doesn't look pretty good for Kurovsky. He's trying to go Imperial Age. That is very risky. That is extremely risky, actually, because your opponent's just massing knights, and with so many Buddhist monks, you cannot really take down the knights with only spearmen. Like, you need a lot of them, and if you're going Imperial, you really don't have... You're just not gonna have an army now. And Green is just gonna go for it. These are elite Mount Samurai units. So these guys, they do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Meanwhile, Kurovsky already sees the knights, tries to pull the spearman, and he is saving for that Imperial Age. So far so good. He's safe. He is safe for sure. I don't know why you get this upgrade. Oh well, you get the hand cannoneer cost eventually, so that's pretty good. Big university already coming. Oh my god, look at this. Look at these biomes. It just looks beautiful, man. Let me tell you, it's just... I'm sorry, I can't stop talking about it, okay? I'm a visual guy. I'm probably an artist by trade. Not by trade, you know, actually, but an artist by heart. I've done art for so many years. I'm very sensitive to all those crazy details that we see. Oh, Kurovsky. Kurovsky. Don't do that, Kurovsky. Not like this, man. Looks like he will try to do the Berkshire somewhere else. I don't know if he knew that Green had vision. And now that's a lot of demi-lancers. That's a lot of demi-lancers, but there are 37 monks here. These are debuffs, they do 5 damage. We need a nickname for this guy for doing 5 damage. I really don't know how to call them. But they're just not lancers at all. It's just gonna be lancers with monks. That's all it takes, apparently. That's all it takes, and it all comes down to just trying to go Imperial Age very fast. It's just gonna build a Berkshire now. Wonder where he's gonna build it. There you go, it's just in the back of the base, not really protecting a lot of things. Because you can just really just go here and all the economies, you know, stop, pretty much. And probably the Berkshire not even going up. And probably this is GG. That's just too many monks out there. Too many monks out there. pulls more villagers, but he is losing quite a lot. He's losing quite a lot. Berkshire, it's up and running. Let's see what's the reaction of Green. He already have +3 range armor, so these guys are just gonna be very tanky. Looks like there is biology as well. Yeah, there is biology here. So these guys are just gonna be pretty tanky so far. And there you go. You can just go around here. There's a lot of farms around this area. There is the manors. So Kurovsky's economy is just gonna be bleeding now. And because you don't go for the other landmark, you don't go for Wingard, you don't have the extra, extra spearman. Like you can just get against this like pretty fast. But even with spearman, I don't think you can even deal with this. It's just gonna be saving the monks for now. But that's 26 monk samurai, and that's a significant amount of knights that you need to deal with. That's pretty much an army that you cannot stop that easily. Kurovsky is still with some economy there, but there's a lot of idle, especially the food. He has more manors there, pretty much working as a resource drop-off. But he still needs to secure more mod food resources. Farms are pretty much idle here, and you're gonna be losing a couple of manors already there. It's like Japanese just mindlessly just sending the knights around the Berkshire. Just like, because why not, It's just a Berkshire. No worries. Wait a second. This Berkshire is worse than the English one? Or is it like the same? That doesn't look very strong, right? And I asked that question because I didn't play House of Lancaster the last season. Purely because of honor. Purely because of that. And Kurovsky only have 4 military units. It looks very dire for him. Very dire. More Mount Samurai gonna be running around the base. More manors potentially going down. And by the way, the number of manors actually increased. That's something I forgot to mention. Like they got nerfed, but at the same time, you can build more of them if the game goes long enough. So I think manors still, somewhat decent. Somewhat decent, considering all the nerf. But it was very campy. It was a very campy strategy coming from Kurovsky, and now the Mount Samurai are just gonna be taking down the Berkshire along with quite a lot of trebuchets. A couple of bombards already coming, and I think as soon as this Berkshire goes down, they're pretty much gonna call it. And there you go, GG gets called. What again, guys? Beautiful graphics. I have no words to express how beautiful this is. Welcome to Season 12, guys.